Secretary of State Dianna Duran says she's not guilty of dozens of charges against her, including fraud and money laundering. But despite her attorney's best efforts in court today, the case will move forward. Here's News 13's Gabrielle Burkhart.
Jessica, since the Attorney General filed these charges last month, Dianna Duran has stayed silent. Today in court, she stayed that way with her attorney doing most of the talking.
As she sits today, she is an elected official.
Secretary of State Dianna Duran stayed silent in front of a judge today. She's accused of stealing thousands of dollars in campaign donations, funneling the money into personal accounts and using it at New Mexico casinos.
Your Honor, first I would move to dismiss the information for lack of proper venue, lack of jurisdiction.
Attorney Erlinda Johnson, representing Duran, tried.
The information should then thus be struck.
And tried again.
I would move to dismiss those counts for violation of due process.
To get some or all of the charges thrown out.
The motion to dismiss is denied.
Judge Glenn Ellington spent most of today's hearing listening to and dismissing a series of motions from Duran's attorney. The Secretary of State faces 64 charges filed by the Attorney General last month. They include fraud and money laundering.
We enter pleas of not guilty.
Duran is not allowed in casinos, but is allowed to stay on the job while the case is pending. After court, lawmakers met at the Roundhouse to start looking into impeaching Duran. They authorized up to $250,000 for a bipartisan panel to investigate the case.
I don't think anybody wants to go through this process, but it's our duty and we will carry forward.
That is, unless Duran decides to step down.
For a variety of reasons, she should consider departing office because she's accused of having violated the very statutes that she's in charge of enforcing.
Prosecutors say they'll need about a week to present their case in court against Duran, which will likely take place by December. That'll be at a preliminary hearing where a judge will decide if the case will go to trial. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Gabrielle. Duran snuck out the back door in court and avoided questions from the media today. Previous attempts to impeach elected officials haven't gone very far because they would resign fairly early on in the process. For all related coverage, including the full criminal complaint, go to the KRQE app.